Welcome to the historic Lime Rock Park. It sounds like a rock festival, but the only music we will hear today is the revving of engines. We are here to bring you race number 4, the Sunday night Skippy USF 2000 Championship Series, brought to you by iRacing Racing Network. My name is Pim Lut, and I'm glad to announce that we have found some budget for Peter Lee, my co-commentator, at this race. Peter, glad to hear you. Glad that the contract negotiations went well for this race. How do you feel about the season so far?
Oh, Pim, it's so great to be here. And yes, under new contract and raring to go. As you were saying, this is race number 4. We started off the season on the tight, narrow, and twisty Tsukuba race circuit in Japan. And then we went 180 degrees opposite from that and raced in race number 2 at the Charlotte Super Speedway. Boy, what a change that was. And then last week, for the third race of the season, we were on the combined oval and road course at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And so it's almost a relief now. Tonight, we're on maybe one of the most pure and historic road courses in America, Lime Rock Park. Really fast road course.
It's amazing that we're here. We're already actually starting with the qualifications. So immediately everything is up for grabs. The pack is quite, or is a reasonable size. 12 people on this track. Any favorites for your side from all these people?
Well, for such a pure road course, you really have to put your money on Greg Seitz. Greg, I think. This is exactly the kind of track, I think, where he just really shows his alien skills. But for sure, Adam Wright will be on his tail. I think he'll be charging hard. The McDonald brothers, Daniel Kranefuss. I think it'll be very, very interesting just to see Thor Tulo. I think we've got some really fast road specialists that are just in their element for tonight.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for McDonald, just because then I have 2 shots for the price of 1.
I think that's cheating.
Yeah, we're currently driving with Adam Wright. Has been quite steady in this championship. We've seen him basically always on the podium. Have you seen him in practice? Do you know any facts from Adam? How did he prepare for this race?
Well, he's been just totally solid. We're sitting with him here now, and he's just going to start a lap here, crossing the start-finish line, and he's just dancing on the throttle here, balancing the car on this decreasing radius, turn 1, 2, turn complex, and it's just pretty impressive. We go through this little technical section through turns 3 and 4. And there's a little bit of a back straight here that goes into an uphill chicane. So one of the fun things about this road course is just seeing the elevation changes. And then finally,
it's amazing to see. I see also David McDonald is driving a 50.6 right now.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty tight course, and these guys will be doing 50-second, 51-second laps.
Let's see if we can find David McDonald. He's busy on his last lap. It looks really fast.
And indeed, and it looks like David McDonald is
he
on the provisional pole.
He was actually testing the pit lane, because that is going to be a factor in this race.
Yes. Yeah, just to recap the race format, we start with a 15-minute sprint heat, and then that sets the reverse grading order for the 35-minute feature race, and fuel will be restricted for that feature race, and that will force everyone to have at least 1 stop for fuel.
I think Daniel Kranefuss has also done his laps. We don't see many people on the track yet. I am wondering what Greg Seitz is thinking. He's still waiting over there.
Yeah, we've seen this in every race so far. Greg seems to like to wait a little bit, see what times are rolling in from the other drivers, and then go on. And it looks like he is just entering the track now.
Well, let's see if we can drive along with him.
As we go around this section, this is one of the more important exits right there, because you have then this flat out section, and so your straight line speed around this light bend, and then hard braking for this little uphill chicane. At the top of the hill, you have a remarkably tricky right-hander here that then takes you down the hill, and if you're brave, a flat out right-hander onto the front straight.
You could hear that he didn't go flat out.
Yeah.
He had to do that a little bit. So that's his first lap that we're going to see over here. Well, that was actually his in lap. So now we're going to see the full speed of Greg Seitz.
And on that final turn 9, you know, Pim, you and I were talking about this. You know, it's probably going to take 2 or 3 laps to get enough heat in the tires to be able to take that final turn 9 flat out.
Yeah, you see that Greg Seitz even has difficulties up here as well. Takes his chicane really smooth. Uses those curbs all the way. So now we're going to see, is he going to do that on his first lap already? He still couldn't go completely full, but it was
Right.
close. And so far he only ends up in that 3rd spot, so now it's the chance to really go. And I think he makes a small mistake over here. But it seems he still has the fastest sector.
Yeah.
Now this full power, still can't do that.
He is remarkably smooth through that chicane. And now let's see if he has enough heat in his tires. This is so crucial in this front straight to be able to get
He's
maximum speed.
beating his own time here, so this is definitely gonna go one up. But is he gonna go for that pole position? It seems that he's very close. And he is going for that
He does it.
first position, yes. With 1/10 he beats David McDonald. Behind that, Daniel Cranofus, really, there's nothing between them. And then Adam Wright, all to gain for.
Well,
that's
in fact, these top 4 are covered by less than half a second. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting race to see. And don't forget Thor Tulla. Every race that he was here was a really good way. So he scored some points, sometimes with some luck, sometimes other people crashes, but he was always safe. So I have big hope for him on that part.
One thing you have to like about Thor is he's just showing great racecraft. So it's not only that he has speed, but you know he's just really showing a lot of skill in kind of close, tight quarters with other cars.
Peter, remind me to talk about Thor. I had a really nice race with him yesterday. Would love to talk about that a little bit. But for now, let's have a quick look at our championship. While they're still running over here, we can have a quick look. Let's see if we can bring it up. Yes, we see Mitchell Green, 137 points. Adam Wright at 107 points. Quite a bit of distance. Mitchell Green, of course, won 2 champion of 2 races. But he is not here right now. So that's going to be a major jump for Adam if he can actually gain here some time. That would be awesome. We see Greg Seitz on 3rd position. Is the whole time a favorite, but is not on the top yet. Has 92 points, so still a long way from Mitchell Green, but also has a chance here to really to grab something. And then we have the first McDonald, David McDonald, 89 points. Yeah, it's all very close. I see Thor Tulla on 8th with 70 points. Had a big win last time, so that was very good to see. Oh, and I see that we already have now the... let's do a quick look. Oh.
Like the cars are just starting to grid up now.
All right, let's go over there then. because we want to see what happens.
Now, one thing we'll see as we go around in the race start, this turn one, turn two complex is very, very treacherous, particularly in cold tires. And what's tricky about it is there's a wide entry into turn one, but then as you go into turn two, it's actually essentially a decreasing radius turn. And so cars have to funnel in a little bit, and if they're side by side, it could get pretty tricky. We'll have to keep a close eye.
Have you raced here before?
You and I have both raced here in both USF last season as well as in Skip Barber.
True. Skip Barber, I can't remember even that. But I do have to say, I did this track a lot of times in the MX. Free track, free car, and I had a lot of fun in this track. I see that we have all the drivers now ready to go, so that's a good sign. The pace car should start driving off now, so we get some view of the cars. You can see them all here coming by. Still love those liveries.
So as they come around, this is this turn one and turn two, and the tricky part is it gets narrower and smaller radius. On cold tires, this turn three where they're going through right now is remarkably slick, and it seems to camber away from you a little bit. And then exceptionally important here, turn four, because you just need to maximize your exit speed for this little bit of a wiggly straight.
It's nice to see driving along here with some nice cars.
Hey Pim, I love your new IndyCar style hoop camera. That is totally awesome.
we're trying new things up here. They are getting ready now for that last turn.
They're
Base
really
car
bunched up, aren't
is
they?
going in. Yeah, it's going very slow up here.
Oh, Greg gets a great jump right off the start.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you can see that. That's a nice way.
And it looks like people are safely through and have got mostly single file now coming into turn four.
And there's three Rust Race in the front of that pack. Let's bring a quick look at the names up here so that we can follow all the action right over here. Alright, so Adam is just following the three Rust Racing. Oh! What is this? Thorthilla! Thorthilla made it.
Yes.
Wow!
A little bit sideways, and it does look like his car is damaged. Luckily, he's in the pit entry, so he can come in and get a quick repair there.
Oh wow, that was already immediately a big shot over there. Let's have a quick look what happened exactly. So he comes out of that last corner, and that's exactly what you were saying, Peter. It is going to be difficult. And he touches the grass, yeah, and then it's gone. Nose is done. Oh, he can quickly go back, and you're right, he's going back into that pit. Now, good to see that is going better.
Oh, and we have another incident. It looks like Rafa Bofil and Ray Bartnikowski have been involved in some sort of tangle-up. Yeah, it looks like Ray got into the back of Rafa coming into the chicane.
So Rafa goes into the pits and actually stops his car right over there. I think that's going to be even a tow. So, oh, he already is out for this race. Let's go back to the front. We have Greg Seitz making his way up to the front with Daniel Cranfus in his back. The gaps are getting a little bit bigger already.
Yes, Adam Wright's made his way up to P3.
Let's have a quick look at Mark McDonald, because he's also catching up on Jake and tries to go there for the move. Goes on the inside line, and yeah, that is the line to pick. Nice overtake from Mark McDonald. Back to the 4th position. But Jack doesn't seem to give up. He looks for that position and just knows he needs to follow.
We have David McDonald in the pits, going through the pit lane and in his pit box.
There's a lot of action going on.
Yeah.
So what exactly happened with Dave McDonald's?
Yeah,
look at his car.
There must have been some incident that we had missed there that caused him to go into the pits.
I'm looking at his car. It looks all fine. Bit strange why he went into that pit. Driving along with Greg, he's really making some space now. He's now 2.1 seconds away from Daniel, and Adam is actually quite close to Daniel, or is getting closer. So Peter, help me remind me. This is Heat 1. What happens with the feature race?
Right, and so the finishing order of Heat 1. So first off, what's very important for these drivers is that Heat 1 does score points. And so finishing order does matter for the season standings. And then the finishing order in Heat 1 is reversed to establish the grid for the 35-minute feature. So if things stay as they are now with Greg Seitz in P1, Daniel Cranefuss in P2, and Adam Wright in P3, then we will see them in reverse order at the back of the field for the feature.
All right, let's look at Ian Worrell, because I think there is a problem with Jack. He's going a little bit slower, and Ian is trying to make a benefit of that. Going really close. You see, Jack has some problems. He's now side by side, and Ian takes over. Really nicely done over there. I spoke with Ian before the race. He didn't have much practice, but this one he takes like a pro. Is Jack immediately coming back, or is he just going to hang out over there?
It's very interesting to see. He might, if he has some damage that's affecting his car, he still might want to wait a little bit for his refueling window to open. So if he can hold on to Ian's draft, that might be.
But is the Heat 1 there? We don't have any.
You're right. Yes.
So I think this is just a little bit coming back from all the hassle he had last lap. But Ian is going quick. Ian is at least quicker than Jack, and I think Jack is going to have a trouble if he's not quick enough about Ray Bartnikowski, because Ray is. And while we're talking about it, is David again in the pit?
Oh.
Let's have a quick look what happened with David McDonald, one of my favorites. Exactly the same corner as we saw Thor going in, and I think it's going to happen the same thing. Oh, this is alright. We're looking at the wrong footage. Let's go back to the fight with Ian and Jack. I do hope that Rafael Bofil comes back to the race.
Yes, especially for the feature. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
super important for point standings. One thing that we see here in turn 9 is we are starting to see these cars able to take turn 9 flat out. But even when the tires come into grip, up to temperature for a good grip, the level of precision that turn 9 takes is it's pretty extreme. If you're even a foot offline to the left or right, you're going to be putting a wheel on the grass and risking a spin.
so we're driving along with Adam, and you see in front of him is Daniel Cranfus, and behind him is Mark McDonald. It's really in that middle.
So we're over the halfway point in this first sprint heat with about 7 minutes remaining in the race. Oh, and looks like we've had a spin here by Mark McDonald in turn 2.
Yeah, Mark McDonald. Oh, that was the reason why Adam actually could pass him, I think. So Adam is now just going for safe, third position, in front of Craig when he comes into that feature race.
It does look like Jack Moffitt is making up some ground now on Ian Worrell.
Yeah, it looks like he found back his pace again.
Pim, it's interesting. This gets back to your race last night in the Skippies at the Hockenheim short track between you and Thor Tullo. And it's interesting when you're kind of nose to tail with someone, either in the lead or in behind. It sort of ebbs and flows like this a little bit, right? There'll be times when you're a little quicker, times when you're a little slower. It doesn't stay.
No, definitely. And the problem with Thor that I had was that I knew he was quicker. So for me, it was defending. And then it is nice to drive with someone who also knows how to be safe and not having a dive bomb or anything of that. Thor was really nice, and he just couldn't make it. Eventually, we had a small touch in the last lap. But that was all to gain for. He's a really solid driver. And a little bit disappointed, to be honest, on that 8th position. I expected more.
Oh, looks like Ian overcooked it coming into turn 1. So Jack Moffitt has gotten past Ian Worrell.
Yeah, we're going to have a quick look at that because Jack was already on his tail. Yeah, you can clearly see he's just taking the normal line. And then it's off. Ian could save it, so he's just back over there. I'm curious to see if he now gets the new energy. Oh, no, he didn't. He overcooked it really bad, and there he is.
Yes.
His car's not damaged, so everything to play for, but in this heat, it's pretty much over.
That's one of the tough things I find about this track, and frankly, I struggle here at Lime Rock Park because it's a really technical road course. But it's really fast. Most of these corners are really, really fast. And so you're kind of on the knife edge through a lot of these corners. The level of precision that you need is pretty high.
Yeah, but I think that's the part what I see in when you go to the practice of Rus Racing, where they do it lap after lap after lap. And they're very consistent. And I think that's something what I was talking about with Raphael Bofill. Was that's what you need to do. You just need to turn off, and just every lap needs to be the same. And that can bring you quite some good things, as we see over here with Adam.
Looks like Ray Bartnikowski had an issue coming through the chicane. He's running in P7, but he was up in P6, but his spin in the chicane has allowed Ian Worrell to get around him.
So let's have a quick look at the best times that we see. Craig Seitz does a 50.3, so he's really the fastest. But after that, Daniel, Adam, Even Mark McDonald is very close to each other. So that will be very interesting in our next race. And then you see that next group, Jack, Ian, Ray Bartnikowski, Thor Thula. They're all in that 51 area.
Yes. Well, and David McDonald, is in the pits, but his times are right up there with the top 4.
Oh, look at this. We look at Ray, and there he goes again. I think there's something wrong with his car because he's done that now a couple of times. I think there is some damage that made this do this. But I do see that Adam Wright is slowly getting closer.
Yes. In that chicane, there are those big red bumpers, and it upsets the car quite a bit. And so especially if you take it just a little bit sideways, with a little bit of loss of grip in one of the corners.
Oh, there's something going wrong. I saw that on the back. What happened over there? Adam Wright went off track. That was while we were looking. I saw that in the back. Let's have a quick look at him. He's just going a little bit too quick and oversteers. Yeah, and then he can save that car quite nicely. So that's the reason why he didn't lose position, and he can actually come back to track. So that's very good.
That is incredible because there is absolutely no grip with these racing slicks, especially hot racing slicks on that grass. I am astounded that he managed to get back safely on track so quickly.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I really like about the Formula V, where it's quite easy to help it safe. And I always compare it with the Skippy, but the USF is even worse. Yes. So very impressive move over there. But it does mean he's 6 seconds behind Daniel Kranefuss, who drives here a very solid race. Yes. Knows he can't beat Craig up here.
I do think so. Greg Seitz is now coming down to turn 9, and as he crosses the start-finish line, I think he'll be given the white flag, which will set the last lap for this sprint heat.
He's passing Ray Bartnikowski, who gives that room over there, and immediately tries to go back just to see what the secret sauce is that Greg puts on this show. There are no real big fights anymore. Greg is just solid driving.
Well, and with the feature being a reverse grid, Greg is putting himself squarely at the back of the field.
Yeah, that's a very interesting move. And up here, it is difficult to pass. So I'm curious what he's going to do about that, because I think you need to have patience up here. Oh, he's making that nice slip.
Yep. Well, and remember, with the fuel limitations for the feature,
look at this. He already said, oh! He's not. Yes, he does. No way! I have never seen somebody go over the finish line that way.
Did he cross the finish line?
He did. But yeah, he did. I think he did that. All right, let's have a. All right, we have Mark McDonald.
We're going to have to find out if he did that intentionally. That is amazing.
I don't think that was intentional, but we do see that Jack Moffitt goes in front of Mark McDonald. So that is something that Jack won over here. But let's have a quick look, because that was an amazing and weird one over here. Greg here loses the control. Wow. Well, we'll have to see it in our next race, because I think the feature is right started over here.
Yes.
Oh, that was. I actually thought he didn't make it. I thought that was going to be done.
Well, now this is going to be very interesting, especially at the start with this reverse grid. In the league, in Sunday Night Skippy League, it's been kind of a short track week because we have this tight circuit at Lime Rock Park for USF 2000. And then the Skip Barber cars are racing at the short A layout at Hockenheim. And then we have Formula V's racing at the short layout at Okayama. And so it's short. I think this is, we just call this short track week.
Yeah, it is. It is very short track. I've driven yesterday the race with the Skip. Very fun, but you saw the whole field was, I think, in 1 second.
Yes.
So we're here going very slowly over the track. David McDonald is now on first. So what does he need to do? What would be your tactic right over here?
Well, I think he'll definitely want to get a good jump because the main thing, at least that I would be thinking about, is just staying safe and surviving through the first lap, especially turns 1 and 2. And so the best way to do that is just to have clear track all around you, and you can do that by getting a great jump. But you and I know Ray Bartnikowski, right up there on the front row with him, is pretty quick himself, and so he'll be thinking about his, getting his jump as well.
Yeah, we're gonna do this start together with Mark McDonald on the 5th position. He's right in that middle pack, so we can see really good what David McDonald is gonna do. How he's gonna go. The car is out. He can wait. He is still waiting. He needs to go, and he's going really well.
Yeah, that was a great start for David. A great jump. And now behind Thor, Ray, and Mark are 3 wide coming in turn 1. Looks like they've come out the other end.
Ray is gonna beat Mark over there. Wouldn't expect that. But it's busy around Mark. Because we have Ian Worrell, Jack Moffitt, and Adam Wright already right over there. So that's going to be a nice fight to see. Oh, we see some fuzz going on. Jake is missing it over there. Jack is missing it. Aye, that's too bad. Because immediately the whole pack goes through.
Well, that was a classic concertina effect, with a train of cars coming up to a hard braking zone.
Alright, and here we see Adam Wright immediately on Ian Worrell. He's a lot quicker. So he will take that position right over here on the straight. Takes that inside line. And he's immediately already on that 6th position. Daniel goes with him. Or on 5th position, and Daniel doesn't go with him. Because he still stays on 7th.
Yes. And we have, Greg Seitz and Daniel Cranefuss now breathing down Ian's neck. It'll be pretty interesting to see how long Ian can hold them back.
Oh, look at this. This is a really nice fight to see. They're going 3 wide. He goes past him. Past Ray. Ray let him go.
Yeah, Ray has some issue there and ran very wide on that turn.
But we still see Jack behind him. He's not going to make a move right over here.
And it does look like Daniel Cranefuss is taking inside line and getting around Ian Worrell.
Alright, so he needs to immediately come back to Adam. But Adam is already taking the next position because he's looking into Thor up here. Look at this, so close, but he can't do that over here. It's too dangerous. There's a lot of points to win up here. He needs to be safe, he needs to enter. He needs to come to the end.
We did have Ray Bartnikowski coming into the pits, so he must have damaged his car. And so he's taken his fast repair, and one would assume he probably topped up in fuel as well.
Alright, well, looking here at Greg's sides, has Jack Moffitt right behind him, and Ian is carrying the whole pack. Greg is overtaking Ian in this round over here. Turn 1 is really good to overtake. So also Greg is 1 step up.
Well, and what we're seeing there is that front straight does give you an opportunity to catch a bit of draft and slingshot around there. It's just long enough to do that.
So Thor Thulla is now between Adam and Daniel and Greg. And Thor is really taking a lot of benefit of Adam, staying really close to him. And I don't want to jinx it, but currently we have 2 McDonald's in front. So my chances are really big of winning this one, Peter.
Indeed. And, as we saw last week in New Hampshire, the McDonald brothers, they do have the ability to work together a little bit. And, with that front straight and having a little bit of a draft effect, that could pay off for them.
Well, Peter, as I said before, David says no because he's not working together with Mark. He's just running away from Mark. He's a lot faster speed, and in these 5 laps he already took 3 seconds.
Yeah, he has a 3-second gap. Yep.
So is Daniel Cranefuss already here taking over? He's very close to Thor, and he needs to do something. Otherwise you have the risk that Adam is going to run away.
Yeah, well, it does look like Thor is maintaining about a half-second gap there, and so, it's Thor isn't making it easy.
No, but he is getting a lot closer up here. Sorry.
Yes. No, it's
really nice to see up here how close he gets, and is he going to go for that one over here? Yes, he is going to go inside. Wow, nice and safe. Thor keeps it nice, yes. And then immediately Thor has Greg behind him. So he's not done yet. That's
back in the exit of turn 4, it looks like Ian Worrell had a spin, and I'm afraid he may have damaged his car in the wall.
Yeah, sorry, I can't leave this for what it is. We're now here seeing that Greg overtakes Thor, or at least tries to. Goes on the inside, but doesn't let him. Look at that. Oh, over. Yes. That's not typical for Greg. It doesn't work, but then Thor can't hold it anymore, and
being on the outside of the turn 2 is a little bit slick.
Oh, we see Daniel missing the chicane.
Oh.
And Greg is past
Thor.
Daniel.
Yeah, and that's allowing Thor to get a run on Daniel. And so it'll be interesting to see if Thor can get a run coming out of turn 9 here. Ian Worrell is in the midst of a tow, and so getting towed to the pits for his repair.
Yeah, we see that Thor didn't make it, and he's now actually losing time over here. So let's have a quick look at Adam. How is Adam doing up here? Because I do see he's getting a lot closer to Mark McDonald.
Yeah, he's trying to close in. He's about 1.2, 1.3 seconds back, but steadily making up ground. And then, of course, right behind those two is Greg Seitz on a charge. Just less than 2 seconds back now.
Yeah, and we're only 7 minutes in the race, so that's going to be a very interesting race in front of it.
Yep. There's a very interesting kind of tussle also continuing lap after lap between Daniel Cranefuss and Thor Thulla in the battle for P5.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Thor keeps coming back for that. But I do have to say he's not close enough. Because now he has to come closer, and then you can't make it on just this straight.
Meanwhile, back up in that battle for P2, Adam Wright is now within 0.7 seconds of Mark McDonald. So really eating maybe 2 to 3/10 of a second each lap, which is quite a bit on the short track.
Yeah, you see here this the entry of that was a lot better from Adam, but Mark is running a little bit away now.
You know, going through that chicane, you come out going uphill, and so that's another place where prioritizing exit speed and momentum, you know, tends to work a little bit better than prioritizing entry speed, and we sort of saw that at play in that little exchange. But in turn 1 and turn 2, it's again we're seeing Adam kind of eat into that lead.
Yeah, we're driving along with Adam up here, and you really see, yeah, he is on the tail of Mark right now, so that's impressive already.
Let's see what happens again in this chicane as they come up.
Yeah, you see Adam is pushing. Adam is going over the curves a little bit, takes a little different lane than Mark. But both drivers can. This is what you mean. They're now going full ahead in that corner 9. But again, he is 1/10 closer. So I think, according to the computer, it will be 3 more laps before Adam is in hitting strike. I'm curious if the computer is right about that.
Well, see, my math says it should work out that way. And then, of course, the wild card in all of this is Greg Seitz is just you know, less than a second behind, probably just watching this play out.
Yeah, because he knows that Adam is one of the contenders for this championship, and currently ahead of Adam. So he would love to make sure that he beats him in this race.
Boy, Adam is really...
Adam is passing him right here.
Taking that inside line. You know.
Beautiful. Yes, he takes that inside line, and now it's up to Greg to do the same thing. Because if he doesn't, he's going to lose Adam. Let's have a look at the time also for David McDonald and Adam Wright. So it's 4.2 seconds right now.
Yeah, David is kind of serenely running and pretty clear in the lead. He did just pass Ian Worrell, and so he's even got you know, Ian as a kind of buffer to Adam Wright running P2.
Yeah, but he's losing quite a bit of time on that particular lap. While we see that Mark McDonald is actually going really sharp, stays on that outside, because he knows he can get an inside over here and then have a better run. But Adam holds that back. And again, this is good for Greg. He can come back, he can wait.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. You know, I think this is where you need some patience. There's still more than 23 minutes left in the race. There's still, for all of these drivers we're watching right now, there's still a fueling stop. So there's just a lot that can happen. There's no need to force the issue or be over anxious right now.
No, they had no trouble with Ian Worrell right over there, so they're moving along. It's good to see here that Greg is coming a lot closer.
So, Pim, when you're on track, you know, which of these 3 cars would you want to be? Are you comfortable in the lead? I guess in your race last night with Thortullo, you were in Adam Wright's position for many laps. How did you feel about that?
I didn't like it. It was glad that Thor was there and that we could keep it safe. But as soon as I had somebody in front of me, it was even more difficult because I couldn't just participate on one person, but I had to do it for the 3 drivers. So that's for me it was a little bit trickier. I would love to be on the back, where Greg is right now. There's plenty of time.
Yep.
And they're moving, and
I'm totally with you. I feel much more comfortable. I concentrate.
We see Adam slipping, but holding it right over there. And the guys behind remember what happened in the last race, and also remember they need to be steady.
I'm definitely going to have to ask Adam for some coaching on how to keep this car straight on the grass like that. That is just near impossible. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I do want to call out David McDonald, because while those guys are fighting, he took a 5-second leap right now and is really coming over that line very fast.
Oh, it looks like Greg Seitz is coming into the pits, and this is clearly an undercut attempt that Greg's going to be trying for here. Fueling window is open. Probably open for maybe another good 5 or 6 minutes, and
he's off. He got his fuel in. There was no tire change, and he's back on track. So now he needs to come up to speed in that first corner.
So for people who are new to watching auto racing with fuel stops, when we say undercut, this situation where Greg is possibly being held up a little by the cars in front that he's racing with, and so by taking early stop, he can get some clear track. Oh, looked like there was an issue there between Daniel and Adam. There looked like a miscommunication. Adam, I think, wanted to come into the pits, and then at the last minute, so Daniel.
All right, so what happened over here? We're driving along with Mark McDonald's. Whoa, yes, we see that clearly. He wanted to go into the pit, and Mark McDonald had to continue, and both continue. I don't think they actually hit each other, but that is going to be over.
I think it was just a miscommunication. I think Adam didn't realize that Mark was coming in on his inside when he was planning to come into the pits.
So, and that means that David McDonald, his lead is even bigger. It's now 7 seconds. And now we see Adam doing it the second time, going into the pits.
And now we'll want to see, how he comes out with relative to Greg Seitz. And so Greg is just coming around turn 9 now.
Now Mark McDonald has left the pits. Adam is also leaving the pit, but I don't think he can make this happening.
Well, in fact, and there we go. Greg has gone around and gained the position. And so that's the classic undercut.
So that works here quite well. Then we have to worry for David McDonald.
Yes.
I hope he has got that signal and is now coming into the pit as well, but I don't think so. He's going to continue.
Indeed, and when he does come in, then it'll be interesting to see how he comes out relative to Greg.
Yeah, we see that Thor is also going into the pit lane, so Greg has an easy part on passing him on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam is suddenly 3 seconds behind Greg Seitz. That's gonna be a shock for him.
So Pim, in that incident between Adam and Mark, that'll be an interesting one for the stewards to take a look at this week. What do you think? Is there a penalty possible?
Yeah, so let's have a look from my perspective. I'm always wrong. The judges never go according me in that way. For me, this was a mistake of McDonald's. No matter, you saw already that he was making a move. We're in that lap time, so without communication or no communication, doesn't matter. You're the car in behind, and but I'm not sure if that's really a penalty worth. I'm not a favorite of penalties, so for me that would be a racing incident. I'm happy that they're both fine, and David McDonald is keeping that lead from 8.5 seconds. Do you know how much time Greg was in the pits? Because he currently has an 18 seconds behind him.
Yeah, it's not clear, but I would expect if David McDonald can maintain gap and have a similar pit stop, that David should come out with on the order of a 5-second lead on Greg Seitz.
Yeah,
but
we I see up here that Greg Seitz did a 27-second lead of a pit stop, so that would mean that Daniel would have 10 seconds left.
Yes. It's very interesting. So the gap from David down to Greg is about 26 seconds right now. So it's going to be very, very close once David comes in.
Greg has some people in front of him, so that's going to be also more trickier.
Yes. One thing we are seeing is that these pit stops are pretty fast, which would indicate that these drivers are not taking on new tires. And this has been a little bit of a debate. We saw last week that some of the drivers did take tires in their pit stops and seemed to get some advantage in lap times at New Hampshire. Same thing might be less true here at Lime Rock Park.
So we see David coming up to lap 23 right now. 9 seconds ahead of Daniel, so keeps making a lot of speed over there. And Greg slowly comes back, but that is...
Oh, it looked like Adam Wright had an issue in turn 2, spun off, but no damage.
Let's have a look at that one again and see how we can save that car from dying over here. Yeah, he wasn't already feeling comfortable in this corner. Oh, we see the wrong... Alright, let's go back to the interval. Adam is on the 4th position.
Right. And so we are, at least by my calculations, coming near the end of the fueling window. And so I would expect this time around, or maybe one more lap, that David McDonald would have to pit for fuel.
Well, then it has to be in the next lap, because he's already passed it, and he just continues.
Well, he's not only running fast, but he's being very efficient with his fuel.
Yeah, Daniel listened better to you. He's now going into the pit. So that means that Greg is really focusing on David. Mark McDonald has gone into the pit again. But seems to stop his car, and I don't think he's coming back for that one.
Right.
Alright, so here we go again. Will David go into the pit? 25 laps on these. Yes, and here he comes. Comes in.
Yeah, so
whoa, brakes a little bit too late. Whoa, hits the pylon over there. I'm not sure if he actually hit the right one. I'm curious if he stays longer in, because that would mean he had a penalty.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see here. Greg Seitz, meanwhile, is just coming around turn 9. Here comes
but David is already out. David is out. David is out.
Yeah.
And has that lead, although it's very slim, 2.4 seconds. But at least we're going to see a nice fight up here.
So I think the upshot of the undercut is that Greg managed to close off about half of the lead that David McDonald had on him.
And it's funny to see that for this track it did work. And remember the last time it didn't work. So that is really track dependent.
Yeah, it is interesting. And, if you think about it logically, it should not make any difference. but it seems to. And, I think part of it is just the luck of the draw and where you get clean track and clear track. Where you're able to catch draft from somebody. Those things, if they work out for you, you can gain an advantage.
Yeah, while you say that, Greg Seitz put up the fastest time of 50.3. So he's eating a lot of time from David.
Meanwhile, back in P3, about 10 seconds back, is Daniel Kranefuss, and then about 3 seconds behind Daniel is Adam Wright in P4, Thor Tullo in P5.
Yeah, I'm curious if Adam is coming back. He's done it before, and there's still 10 minutes to go, or even 12 minutes to go. So big steps. But Mark McDonald is going to lose quite a bit of points staying into the pit.
Yes. Well, Greg Seitz does seem to be eating into the lead that David McDonald has.
Yeah, but this lap it was only 2 seconds. Oh, he goes nearly out. David, that was a mistake of David, and Greg is immediately quite close to there.
Well, now that's only a half-second lead. So, just extreme pressure here for David McDonald. You know,
Greg
back
is...
on, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm not going to move this anymore. Greg is going to look at it. He's going to take that outside. But he can't hold that.
Right. Still plenty of time. You know, back on the subject of penalties and the incident between Adam and Mark. That's one thing about our league is that we do have a stewarding system, and so the stewards take a look at the incidents after each race. They catalog the incidents, and then they ask the drivers for their points of view on what happened, and then they take those into account to issue penalties or warnings. And so it's a pretty good system, don't you think?
I like it. I was there when they changed it so that we can make some spot. And while we're talking about that, we see Greg making the move over here, taking that inside line.
Oh, that was a beautiful pass. Classic outbraking.
And Greg is now, he's done it. He is where he is. And now he just needs to finish it. I'm curious what David McDonald is going to do.
Yeah, so on the incident review with the stewards, I agree with you, Pim. I think the way the Sunday Night Skippy League handles this is just so great. And, you know, it was funny watching the Formula One race at the Red Bull Ring. You know, you have to say that the way this league handles these things is better than what Formula One is doing today.
Oh, at least it's more clear. Again, I wasn't agreeing with all the penalties, but at least it's clear what happens and what is allowed and what's not allowed. That's the thing, and I think while we're in Team Jason, we talk a lot about with one steward, Jason Bice, and it's very nice to see how well they do that as well. Like that's also a whole team. That's not just one person that looks at an incident, and they're straightforward, they're honest, and they help. I think also they give you advice on what to do and what not to do.
Oh, that's right. I think that's a key point, Pim. There's a developmental and coaching aspect to it, and I think that's why the stewards want to know what was going through your head, when that incident happened, and it's a chance to learn.
Yeah, definitely. I do have to say sometimes it looks a little bit like a wine and dine where people are talking about it. But some people are very short and immediately saying, was my mistake, missed it, my bad, sorry. And I think that's for me really what this league is all about. It doesn't matter which car you drive. We drive on Saturday morning, the Formula V. The people that are there, it's always fun. It's always nice to drive with them, and I appreciate that league mentality that we have.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be crucial, for the Sunday night Skippy race, because on that short track, which is about the same, length as this, but with probably 40 cars, there are going to be incidents, and so just having that league mentality, I think, keeps everything positive. Still
Yeah.
super hard competition, but
Oh yeah, no, I think in the skip the competition is really difficult because you're always going to be attacked. You always have to defend. There's a lot of action going on. I like in a smaller pack. I do have to say for the people that are watching right now, if you want to join this league, we are still open, and it will be fun to see. While we're talking, David McDonald is getting really close.
yes.
Do you think he's going to make a move?
I was just watching, and I think
I think he's going to do it.
Tire issues. I think Greg's tires look to me. It looks to me like his car is understeering a little bit in some of these turns. So I'm just wondering if he's having tire issues, either wear or temperature issues.
I think you're right. We're looking together with David McDonald, and you can see that Greg is sliding.
Yeah.
So that's definitely happening. And David is also thinking, what do I need to do? Do I need to attack? Do I need to hold it steady? He remembers what happened last race, where they collided far into the race.
Yes. One of the challenges with this car is there is a little bit of so-called aero wash, meaning, especially in a high-speed turn where you really need that front downforce. If you're a little bit too close, the front end of the car will tend to have less grip. And then there's been a big debate about, whether there's tire wear or tire temperature issues. But, I don't know about you, Pim. I think you and I have had different experiences. When I've driven this car for, half hour or more, I definitely feel like the car starts to understeer more toward the end of the stint.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm not that professional. The same thing with a setup. I just need to listen to the smart people and follow them. I'm not really feeling it, if I'm honest. But we do see that Greg is coming really close. Oh man, he is pressuring Greg to make that one mistake. And he is now on that straight. And Greg is defending that inside line.
Absolutely.
Oh, and...
Yep, and see, we're seeing Greg wash out a little bit, that front end.
Yeah, and we see David actually has to hold up to continue this. I don't think he's going to hold this for 5 minutes.
Super exciting, yeah. We probably, after this time around, we probably have only 5 laps, maybe 4 laps to go.
All right, here we go, David. Are you gonna do it this time?
Looks like Thor Tullo, who is running in 6th, had an issue coming out of turn 9, and I believe is in the middle of a tow.
And he is passing him. Look at this, Greg is holding a position right over there.
Oh.
Wow. That was interesting to see.
Very
so
tight.
David is trying it, and it's gonna work. But he needs to do it at least 1 lap before the final lap. So that's gonna be interesting to see. We have 4 more minutes.
This is allowing Daniel Cranefuss running in P3 to make up a little bit of ground, but he's still more than 10 seconds back. So I think, the podium, P3 position is pretty much locked up for Daniel Cranefuss, and it's only P1 and P2, that are being decided here right now with this battle.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make a move over here. I'm just stuck with David and Greg.
Yeah,
Will be very impressive. I think already how David is doing it. He's holding the speed with Greg's sides. I think he needs to have a chance. The next straight.
and I think they are likely to have cleared track, but there is Jack Moffat up ahead, and it'll be interesting to see if traffic starts to play a factor here, with just 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the race.
Yeah, we see that he didn't make it over here. He can gain quite some speed back to the back of Greg. But then it's waiting. We see Jack Moffitt right in front of them. He could be a major part over here.
Yes. It's looking to me like after this time around, they'll have 2 more laps to go. Greg is getting some draft help here from Jack.
Here we see him going past. Does that mean that David McDonald can't pass him right over here? Ooh, that did take him quite a bit of time.
Yep. Well, and Jack Moffitt, I think, did a good job there to try to, as much as possible, stay out of the way of this battle. But, you know, it's just really unavoidable.
Yeah, but that means that David now can show his real powers to go back, because he needs to come back right now. Otherwise, Greg will take this victory.
Yeah, so here they're coming around the final corner, and this should be now, after the cross start-finish line, the last lap.
Yeah, we see the white flag from Barney coming up. And David really is a little bit too far. He's gaining time right in these corners, but losing also a little bit on the back. Oh, he's pushing it really hard.
I'm super curious about how the car is handling and how the tires are.
And Peter, there's another back marker right over there. Do you think they're gonna make it? Is that gonna be of influence?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's Thortolo ahead, and he's pretty fast. And this is the final corner of the race here.
So here they go, and look at this. Greg is doing it again, but keep it safe right now. A little bit closer, because David was catching on him, but that was too far away. So David on the second spot, and here we see that in the far distance, Daniel Cranefuss is coming over. Also do some shenanigans right over here. Well deserved, and after that is Adam Wright. Coming over the finish line is number 4, and then we have Thor Thulla, who solid drove, not too much excitement, and with a 1 lap down, he can just slowly comes over the finish line. And that's the last one that we have. Yeah. Small pack, and we had 12, 7 are finished. Look at that.
Right. Well, and that just shows you how challenging this road course is. Just a little bit of too much grass on one corner of your car, just given how high speed most of these corners are, just spells disaster. And we saw that in spades tonight. But what an amazing drive by Greg Seitz. Strategically taking that undercut, making that undercut work, and then, just holding off really intense pressure. David McDonald was just driving lights out and just really putting extreme amount of pressure on Greg, and Greg held it up and finished in P1. Great job.
Yeah, great job. I'm really curious if David McDonald would have gone earlier into the pit, if he would have made it, because that was definitely something that Greg did really well. That undercut worked basically for everybody. I'm curious. Even at Adam Wright had some small mistakes, but could always save his car and is on the 4th position. So I think in championship points he will lose some things on Greg Seitz, but will win a lot of points on the first runner. So I think in that way it's going to be tight on the front. Too bad Rafael Bofill didn't make it. 41 laps. I think he did 1 lap and had this accident, and that was it.
Right.
So that was a bit disappointment. But
we have our P3 finisher, Daniel Cranefuss, waiting to enter the.
All right. Well, let's have a look.
Okay,
Yeah, of
great. Well,
course. Always love to hear people coming into the booth. If you have raced or you want to say something, please join us in the booth.
hi, Daniel. Congrats. Great P3 for you.
Yeah, hi guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That was a fun race. My first laps in over a week were turned into practice session right before the race, so I'm very happy with P3.
There
So
was, go ahead, Pim.
yeah, so tell us a little bit about the race because the feature, then we have a reverse kit. So how did you? What was your tactic about this race?
Well, first it was figuring out the fast line around here. I felt like I was a little bit of a disadvantage. I was out of town during Greg's wonderful track walk session that he does every week, so I know I missed a couple of little secrets there. And I see David. Man, was he quick today? He was on it with Greg. But yeah, my strategy was just kind of figuring out where I was pace wise and not trying to keep up with my teammates if I wasn't able to. So just kind of running my own race. Felt like Adam Wright and I were like pretty similar pace, and I think he had a spin or an incident. Something must have happened to him. I saw him fall back on my relative, but he was slowly catching me. I thought we might have a little tussle there at the end. I was kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, we had the same thought. It was Adam had a couple of incidents, but always kept it safe and was really fast. So we were hoping for that as well. In the championship, you're not doing bad. I think you always finish, and with not having so many people in this race, you gain a lot of points. What are your thoughts about Alton Park, our race coming up? Did you already practice?
Oran Park, yeah.
No, I have not. Yeah, I've had a couple of injuries lately that have kept me out of my racing rig and then a vacation. So, yet more time away from the rig. So, yeah, like I said, tonight was my first laps in over a week. But I love Alton Park. I've just never run it with this car before. So, I'm looking forward to trying that. It'll be an interesting race. It's a tricky course, and this car requires you to keep up your momentum. So, I feel like it's one of those places where just a little bobble is going to cost you big time.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be fun to see that, and maybe you should take more holidays because I think it deserved. It came out quite nicely today.
Yeah, you know what? If you could just talk to my boss about that, I would appreciate it.
Awesome.
Talking about tricky tracks, the thing I think about Lime Rock Park that I personally find challenging is, most of the corners are so high speed. And so, if you make any little mistakes and get a wheel on the grass, it's pretty disastrous. And so, how does that go for you? Are you more comfortable in these sort of higher speed turn courses, or are you happier on the slower, twistier tracks?
Yeah, I tend to struggle with momentum cars a little bit, and so this is definitely new territory for me. But I'm learning, and of course, with Greg and the rest of the guys on Rust Racing, I've always got somebody to pointing out what I can do better in this turn or that turn. And what I've noticed here, I mean, the grass line, I'm not sure about the turn number, but it's the second to last right-hander. If you enter that with your left sides on the grass, which Greg likes to do, you definitely pick up a little more pace. But I cannot run the grass line. And I've noticed that even if you're just a tire width or two tire widths off the apex, you're already costing yourself some lap time. So yeah, having that perfect apex line around here is really key. It's so easy to lose 2 or 3 tenths, and you wonder where it went at the end of the lap. You feel like you had a good lap.
Yeah. So this Thursday night, Sunday night Skippy series, this is the first season that we're running this, and we're trying to build up participation and so on. How do you think it's going so far? What do you think of the race format? With the reverse grids and the fueling stops and all that.
Honestly, I've been doing leagues for about 2 years, different kinds of leagues and some endurance races and whatnot. This Thursday night league is the most fun I have. So thank you to you guys for putting on the show. Thanks to Sunday Night Skippies or Thursday Night Skippies, I guess, whichever flavor this one is. But yeah, I mean, it's a blast. I love the reverse grid. I always want to go. I want to go. So I don't think about the reverse, at the end of the heat. So, if I finish up front in the heat, that's where I want to be. And then I want to come through the pack. So, yeah, it's so much fun doing it.
Well, we can clearly see that. It's fun to watch, and it's fun how Rust Racing is currently leading that top spots. But I do have heard the rumor that there's coming some more drivers. So I'm curious if they can bring up the level even more.
I would love to see that, and that's, I think, one of the things that makes us so accessible. First of all, everybody in the league is super friendly. The organizers are real easy to work with, and they're super receptive to ideas about like how to run the league. You know, this was a new thing for them, the Thursday night deal. So I think anybody that's watching this or hears about it, that's interested, like check it out. Come join us. Like I said, Rust Racing, we do a Tuesday night practice. There's usually a pretty decent setup that gets passed around there, and a lot of good tips around how to run the track. Greg, who you guys could see every week, is one of the fastest guys on the service. Will work with you and give you some pointers. I mean, what more could you ask for to, get into a league and immediately sort of have your handheld to get up to speed quickly? So, yeah, I think it's very accessible, and the more the merrier. Bring it on.
Yeah,
well,
awesome.
Daniel, it's you too. You and all the Rust Racing guys have just been great in the league. And yeah, I was really lucky and had some good one-on-one coaching in a Tuesday night session with Greg, and I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm going to plan to be on track with you guys instead of the broadcast booth for next week's race.
Oh yes, that'll be exciting! Can't wait for that one.
No, that's definitely going to be fun. Daniel, to end this conversation, is there any shout outs do you want to give, or any last thoughts that you have for tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, you too, Peter and Pim, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast and making it an exciting show. Thanks to Sunday Night Skippies for hosting this and doing the whole thing. And thanks to Greg and everybody else on Rust Racing. Congrats to Greg on the win and Dave on second. And yeah, it's a wonderful working with those guys. I enjoy it every week and looking forward to more. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Daniel, we'll love to see you in the practice session, because we're definitely going to join to learn a little bit more. It's very exciting, and good luck next race. But for now, just celebrate your podium.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right, Peter, this was again a very exciting race. I've seen a lot of things, not that many people, but the exciting racing was definitely there, and Greg and his team had a different tactic for this race, which was at least successful for Greg.
Oh, I just had a blast watching this. You just have to love the fuel strategy play out, and then just all that intensity of that battle for P1. It just showed speed, it showed racecraft, it showed strategy. What more could you ask for?
No, definitely. It was a great race, and would love to see more of this action. And we're gonna talk to Adam Wright, because we need to have him in the booth at one point. We have so many questions. We're just piling them up right now. So that's definitely something that's on my list. Peter, so it is made the decision that next race you're going to be on track and not on the booth. That's going to be a huge difference. I'm going to miss you, but I'm going to wish you all the luck, and I'm very curious how you're going to handle all these fast people.
Well, it's I won't lie. I'm a little scared, but I love the track. It's one of my favorites, and I love this car. And at the beginning of the season, this was one of the races of the season that you remember, Pim, I was targeting, and I gave warning even before the season started.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that also means that there is a spot available, or even available. It's necessary to have an extra commentator. So if you're listening to this and you want to help us out, please give a comment in our Discord, and we would love to have some help for next race. But for then, Peter, I want to wish you all the luck. You're going to need it. And for now, thank you very much for a great broadcast. I enjoyed it, and we'll see each other next Thursday.
Sounds good.